The P1706 gravel route offers far superior scenery to the well-known R62 tourist route, especially the straight and often boring section between Kruisrivierpoort and Oudtshoorn. This back road offers multiple options and several small passes, each distinctly different to the other. The Kruisrivierpoort is the first of these passes when travelling from west to east. The pass is quite short at 2.2 kilometers and only has an altitude variance of 134 meters, but what it lacks in vital statistics, it more than makes up for in attractive scenery and lots of tight corners. Starting in the east near an old farmstead where the road passes very close to the farmhouse, be particularly careful of children and other pedestrians as well as livestock on the road. The road now enters between a dense stand of tall trees and soon there's a fork. Keep left and remain vigilant as the dappled light makes it hard to have a clear view ahead. The road curves through a very wide left-hand curve and begins climbing gently at a gradient of 1 in 16 and passes a second farmstead on the right at the 0.7 kilometer mark, which is hidden behind a tall row of trees. The gradient now starts picking up as the direction settles down briefly directly into the west. At the 1.2 kilometer mark there's a farm dam on the left which can't be seen as the dam is higher than your vehicle, and on the right is the third and final cluster of farm buildings, which also marks the end of the likelihood of coming across pedestrians. There's a second fork at the 1.3 kilometer mark where you must keep left once again and be careful as there's an old cattle grid just after the fork, but the traffic is routed to the left of the cattle grid past the gate where the road surface suddenly gets quite rough and there's also quite a lot of side slope at that point. The road now skirts around a large hill on the right and the views of the steep valley to the left start to open up. The direction at this point is southwest, but as the road sweeps around the kopje, the direction reverts into the west in a double set of S-bends where the tight radius will require some attentive driving. The road is quite narrow through this section. A third easy S-curve sees the gradient reaching its maximum of 1 in 6 as the summit point looms up ahead. The summit, which has an altitude of 699 meters above sea level, is reached at the 2.2 kilometer mark, revealing wide views of the road ahead, dotted with kopjes adorned with aloes, whilst the brooding bulk of the Swartberg range stands sentinel to the north. Continue for a further 23 kilometers to reach the town of Kruisrivierpoort. The town is famous for its excellent port wines.